Okay, gentlemen, the first shot we're going to talk about is just a simple pitch or chip shot from a tight lie in front of the green, not many obstacles in front of us. How can we make this club interact with the turf to make sure we're helping and not hurting? This shot is very similar to putting. And what I mean by that is it's not wristy, okay? We don't need to help the ball in the air or try and scoop the ball in the air on this shot. If everybody sets their club down and looks down, you will all see a club that's got a decent amount of loft, right? Some of you are using a pitching wedge, sand wedge, gap wedge. The lower loft, we don't really want to be hitting a lob wedge. So the pitching wedge, the sand wedge is about the only two clubs I really want to see. You know, if you get good and expand, you can mess around with the 9-iron and the 8-iron. Obviously, less loft, the ball will come out a little lower and it'll release more. But for this shot, we're going to be using our pitching wedge and our sand wedge. Basically, we want to be comfortable. We don't need to have a big whiff to our stance. I'll have you guys pull out a ball and act like you're going to do this with me here. So again, my feet are going to be a little closer together. I'm going to be nice and relaxed in my lower body. And again, the biggest thing here, guys, is that the bottom of the club, right, the sole, not the face of the club with the grooves, but the sole of the club is what's going to be interacting with the turf. So the club itself is what, the loft of the club is what's going to pop the ball up in the air. So we don't need to flip our wrists at it, okay? It's like putting in the motion that we don't use our wrists and that we use a lot of arms and shoulders. Can you guys see this? A lot of arms and shoulders. Take a few practice swings and you really have to feel the club interact with the ground, not digging into the ground or not missing the ground, but simply just the sole of the club bouncing without using our wrists and with using our arms and our shoulders. Does everybody understand that?
We're going to be in the middle of our stance?
Middle to back of your stance. Yes,
back.
sir. Yep. Again, we don't want to help the ball in the air. We want to allow the club to do the work. Okay, so we don't need to flip our wrists. We just want to use our arms and our shoulders. All of you are doing a really good job. It's not a big swing. It's kind of just a little swing, right? Like putting, where I told you it's the same speed the whole time. That's very consistent and true with chipping and pitching, okay? We can't take a short fast or we can't take a long slow swing. However far we go back and whatever speed we go back, we in turn come back down with the same speed and we travel through the golf ball the same distance that we went back. Does that make sense? Again, so to recap, my feet are a little closer together. The ball is more back in my stance. Can you see that over there?
Yeah.
Okay. The ball's more back in my stance. Stan, can you see that? Okay. And then again, I want the club to do the work. I'm not going to break my wrist very much. I'm going to use my arms and my shoulders. You guys see that over there? So again, not with my wrists, but with my arms and my shoulders. Okay. You see that motion? And then the sole of the club is what's going to be interacting with the ground, not digging, but just simply bouncing and going through. So we're going to go one at a time here. Dan, you can go ahead and try one real quick, and then we're just going to go down the row. Perfect. Good. Little wristy there, right? We want to just make sure we're not using our wrists. Go ahead and try one, Nick. Take a practice swing. Arms and shoulders, no wrists. You guys can get ready. Take some practice swings. We're going to hit one real quick, and then we're going to talk about it. Okay, did that interact with the ground, Nick? Nope, so we'll do that. We'll get that one on the next one. Whenever you're ready, Al. Not too bad. Pretty good shot. Go in the hole. Oh, good shot. Little wristy, right? But not bad. Better, better. All right, so again, guys, very natural tendency. We're all right-handed. We're all right-hand dominant, right? We use it a lot in our golf swing, too. The tendency, natural, is for that right wrist to flip, right? I would encourage you when we take some practice swings, let's just keep the left hand going, okay? Let's not scoop the right hand. Let's just try this with me really quick, just your left hand, okay? See if you can get the club to interact with the ground without breaking your wrist, okay? Good, perfect. Awesome, you guys got that?